There we go. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear me. I can hear the F out of me. All right, we got to do a little housekeeping first. Live now, talking all sorts about gaming junk. Just announced. Exclamation mark. Share now. Okay. And then we'll pop on over to YouTube. Gotta do the housekeeping first. We've gotta do the housekeeping. Knick-Knack Studios. Hey man, welcome to the stream. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me. One of the things during my setup I did not do was make sure that the microphone was connected. So, all right, let's pop on over here. Go to content. Go to content because we make content. Go down. We're not going to select a playlist right now. Node AI usage across the board. What are we? Entertainment? I guess. Is this entertainment? People in blogs. I don't know. News and politics. Or is it gaming? We're not gaming. So I'm going to leave it as entertainment. But we're going to throw some tags in here. Zelda. Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time Remake. Ocarina of Time. Seeing how the sausage is made, kids, 2026. And then we will, let's throw gaming news in there. Zelda news. Ocarina of Time news. Ocarina of Time remake news. All right. And I think that's good enough. We're going to go ahead and save that. Bounce the hell out. And we'll close that window. And with that, kids, we are officially live. Normally I would say with STC Games, but we're not doing that. We're just talking. Let's talk about the newest gaming news because it pertains to what we do here, what we've done here, and what we may do here. Checking in with chat real quick. It's 2.0. Courtney's in chat, says, why is my name Say Cuck, bro? I don't know. For me, it says Yekits 2.0. So I don't know. I don't know why it says that for you. Knick-Knack Studio says, hey, bro, careful showing HTMLs. I've heard they can ban you over it. Okay, well, man, are you kidding me? Streaming is so frustrating, dude, because I know I can't show the trailers. I don't know how to show any of what I've opened all this crap so that I can reference it while I do this, and they tell me I could get banned for showing HTMLs. Look, we were going to talk about this stuff. You're going to get me off on a rant, dude. Knick-Knack, you're going to get me off on a rant right off top. We're not even 5 minutes into this yet. You're going to get me on a rant. Let's calm down. I'm gonna, you know what? If I get banned on Twitch, fine. I don't care about Twitch. We got 5 followers there. We only ever get 1, maybe 2 viewers a stream. I'm just gonna. That's YouTube. YouTube can do that. That makes me want to vomit. Steven says, been waiting all day. James Odell says, let's fucking go. All right, so what do I do here? All right, quick tutorial me, because I didn't look up tutorials on how to hide HTMLs. Hold on. Here's what I'm going to do. I think I know what I can do here. All right, sorry, guys. Thank you, though. Thank you, Nick Knack, for letting me know that. I want to show appreciation for that. Don't think I'm mad at you or anything. I can crop. I can crop the window. I know that. Okay. We're gonna crop the window. That's what we're gonna do here. Sorry, everyone. I gotta crop windows so I don't show URLs. This is new news to me, but it's fine. It's just fine. Oh my god. I gotta make this so many times because I don't know exactly where. All right, that should be good right there. Hold on, yeah, that looks good on my end. All right, let's close that. We're gonna go to our the properties of our chat. We're gonna raise chat. Make it look all clean. Make it look all nice. There we go. Okay. Jesus. Okay. James Odell said press F11. Well, it's too late for that. We're here now. We did that. Okay, Jesus. I can't think of a more boring way to start this stream than adjusting windows. I'm looking over here because chat's over here. But camera's here. I need to be more aware of the camera. My instinct is to not look at camera because, filmmaking and acting and all that. It's cool. You know what? And I know the F11 thing too. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but whatever. Hopefully you guys can hear me fine. Hopefully the microphone is pointed at me. Nick Nack was like asking what program I'm using. Google Chrome right now, but I've been thinking about switching back to Firefox. And Nick Nack Studio says, my bad, man. Just looking out for you. Like I said, no worries. I appreciate the information. Because, like I said, I specifically am not going to be showing trailers for the purpose of not getting the stream kicked, because I know that's how it works. All right. Let's reset here. Let's cool down. Cooler heads prevail. Let's cooler heads right now. Because I don't know that I'm not going to get off on a rant later. So I want to save that energy. I'm pretty tired. I was just working on a van for 2 hours. The delicious taste of Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar. Not sponsored. Want to be sponsored. Please sponsor me, Dr. Pepper. I constantly shout out your product in my regular life as a bit, but let's get started. Let's talk about a variety of things. We're going to talk about a lot of things tonight, but the first thing we're going to talk about right up top, I'm not going to make you wait for it. I'm not cheap like that. I'm going to give it to you right here, right now. We're going to talk about The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time, or I'm sorry, not the Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake that was just announced yesterday. And that's about all that was done. It was announced. They showed a short cinematic trailer, kind of basically showing off, as I remember, pretty much the first moment you see Link in the original game is what we got to see, and we got to see a tapestry of the Ocarina of Time story somewhat, and we know that it is coming this year, which in classic. What drives me nuts about this is, in classic Nintendo fashion, they're like, hey, this is coming. Tell you more about it later. that's it. Oh, it's coming. It's coming soon. Very, very, very soon. And we'll tell you about it later. Don't worry about it. So that's all we know. That's all we know is that The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is coming. It's coming this year, and that's it. There you go. So all I can really say about this remake that's coming is my opinions on it. Because if you're new to the stream, well, rather, if you've never watched an STC Games stream, what I try to do on there is I try to rectify the sins of my gaming past. One of those sins being I basically walked away from the entire Zelda franchise because somewhere around 25 years ago, I had a messed up copy and the Deku tree was not there, and I wasted hours, and everyone told me I was wrong. There's no way. And I spent so much time dedicated to this game getting nowhere. And it drove me nuts, and I furiously walked away from the Zelda franchise forever. Never picked up another game, which is wild because I played the original Zelda, enjoyed it, beat it, played the second game. It's all right, but I didn't enjoy it that much, and I never finished it. Barely played it. And then I played Link to the Past, loved it. Oh my god, what a classic SNES game. But yeah, Zelda Ocarina of Time killed it for me. So I was like, you know what? These were the opinions of a young adolescent boy in the throes of his anger. So let's get back to it. Let's try it out again and see if we can rekindle something here with Zelda. And I hated it. I did not enjoy playing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the N64, and I was playing original hardware. Thank you again, Micah, for loaning me the cartridge for the stream. But yeah, did not enjoy my time between frustrating mechanics, between a lot of arbitrary things it makes you do, between it not explaining anything half the time. I really did not enjoy my time playing that game, but I was dedicated. I finished it. I didn't beat it, I didn't 100% it. Not that, trophies or achievements were a thing back then, but I didn't get all the secret little stuff because after a while I was like, I don't care about the best sword. Get me out of this game. Let's beat this game and walk away forever. And I've once again walked away going like, nah, I'm good on Zelda. I'm good on Zelda. But if we're playing by baseball rules here, it's 3 strikes and you're out. However, at the same time, I know enough about Breath of the Wild. I know enough about whatever the sequel to Breath of the Wild is that came out recently. And I know those are wildly not for me. Those games were not made for me. They sound frustrating. They sound endlessly unpleasant. And just not a way I want to spend my time playing a video game, because I don't get to play games in my personal life. Honestly, I steal time from other things. The other night, I played not the Legend of Kakarot, but Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for the first time in like 3 months. I've beat the core story, and I have not been able to move on and do all of the DLC. I've done some of the DLC because I wanted to play the game in chronological order. So as Dragon Ball DLC came out, I'd circle back and do that. So really it's just the Super Daima stuff that I have left to do. But it takes me a long time, and I've been playing that game since it came out. And I think I only beat it like 6 months ago. The core story. So I'm not kidding around when I tell you I don't get to play video games in my regular life because there are other things I prioritize. I prioritize being a filmmaker. That's where my passion is. I also prioritize paying my bills, so I work full time. But I get to stream every Sunday and play a video game. Do I really want and there would have to be caveats to this, heavy caveats to me playing this Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. One, I am not buying a new console for this. There's very little to nothing on the Switch 2 that attracts me to it. Not that I could even afford to, but not buying a new console for this. So, one, somebody would have to loan me a console. And the game, because again, I'm not paying $100 for a game I am almost assuredly going to hate. So someone would have to loan me the console and the game and be fine with the fact that it is going to take months, because I only stream for 2-3 hours at a time. It is going to be months and months and months that I have your console and your copy, or enough people have to sign up for Subject to Change ENT on Patreon that I can use that money to buy the console and the game, or somebody buys it all for me. So yeah, there's a lot of caveats to me playing the remake of The Legend of Zelda, and it would be on stream. There's a lot of caveats, and none of which I think are going to happen. So am I going to play The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time remake? Most likely not. There's very little interest in it, having played the original now. Because I just don't have that nostalgia. I think that is a big thing. I think most people, if they visited The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the first time in their 30s, would not enjoy playing the game. I don't think they'd hate it as much as I did, but I don't think they'd enjoy it. So there's a lot of people who got the whimsy and blown away by this state-of-the-art game that kind of changed things. Back when they were 12 or 10, 12, 14, I understand why people have an affinity for the game. I'm not saying the game is, I'm also not saying like there wasn't anything redeemable about the game. There were some fun times, there were some moments, but overall, if I had to estimate my time playing the game, I didn't enjoy it. So there's very little that gets me to play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. However, if any of those caveats are met, I will play it on stream. I'll say that. 3 strikes and you're out. Though. 3 strikes and you're out. If I don't enjoy this one, I'm done. I'm calling it. We're putting a nail in the coffin of the Zelda franchise and walking away forever. But again, those caveats have to be met. Because I ain't spending the money on this damn thing. However, it's one of those things, and I'm going to check in with chat here in just a second. It's one of those things. It's much like what I said with, I said to somebody recently about the He-Man movie. In regards to the He-Man movie, it was a little before my time. I was born in '88. I had some of the toys, but I didn't really know until way later that they were from He-Man, and I never really watched the cartoon. So I don't have that nostalgia. Now, I really enjoyed the animated Netflix series that Kevin Smith show runs. I really enjoyed that. I know a lot of people hated it, but I think that was mostly the loud majority of people who are going to hate anything new, much like how Star Wars fans kind of ruined Star Wars for a lot of people, Star Wars fans. But I look at the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe movie and I say, I'm happy they're leaning in. It looks goofy as shit. Honestly, I heard a review of it recently that kind of made me want to watch it because it sounds ridiculous and like, just go have a fun time watching a dumb movie. But for those who have been waiting their entire lives, over 40 years, to see this kind of representation of the franchise, I'm very happy for you. I'm absolutely happy for all the He-Man fans who are excited for that movie, based on what they've been given. When I saw the trailer, looked like it was going to be a real bad movie. But like I said, I've heard a review recently that made me go like, you know what? I'd check it out. Just goofball time. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, however, I don't have those feelings based on anything. But I am really happy for the people who've been waiting their entire lives for this game. I'm super fucking stoked for those of you who love this franchise and especially love the Ocarina of Time. I am so fucking hyped for you that you finally get this game because you've been waiting a long time for it. You've been waiting a long time, and I'll say this based on the teaser that they put out. The score in that teaser is fantastic. Music alone, I loved the music in that trailer. So again, thrilled for you guys. Like, I really am. That's not sarcastic. I think it is so cool that you guys get this and you can be excited. And you're getting it soon. I still think that's frustrating that Nintendo does that sometimes, but you're getting it soon. You should be excited. Let me check in with chat here. Chat's been going on for a minute here. I gotta scroll up. There's Nick Nack saying my bad. At least we got some good TV to look forward to. It's gonna be holiday season for sure. Yekits in chat says, bro, the tree was there, you were doing it wrong. No, I'm telling you. People described it to me. I sat down with my cousin. It wasn't there. That fucking tree was not there. And I have no reason to lie about this. I have no reason to lie about this. I played the game. I finished the game. Who cares? Who cares what the circumstances of my frustration with it 25 years ago was? I'm telling you, that fucking tree was not there. It's so easy to find. It's right there. And what happened back in the day is I walked into that little area and it's just that circle of hill, that hill that surrounds the whole thing. It's just no tree whatsoever. Believe what you want. Steven says it's definitely a dated game, and you pointed out in exhausting detail every flaw. Yeah, okay, and that's the thing. Chat wasn't necessarily disagreeing with me while I was playing that game. You can go watch the 20 streams I did for that game. 20-ish streams at 2 to 3 hours a piece, that's on you. If you want to do that, I will not be revisiting them. But yeah, I did not let a single thing go unstated during my playthrough. James Odell, Twilight Princess is another great entry into the franchise, and I think would be redeeming. But now I think this remake is going to take the cake. Twilight Princess was one I did have an interest in and access to for a while back in the day. But it's just I could never bring myself to do it. I could never bring myself to spend my time that way if I thought it was going to be a waste of my time. James Otto says I'm 100% going to get the special editions Switch 2 that they're sure to announce. James Odell also said you'll beat Spider-Man 2 roughly in 2035. Yeah, I also have a new rule. I won't let myself buy new games unless I beat the previous game, unless it's a newer game. That Indiana Jones game from Bethesda, you are on my radar. Ooh, boy, do I want to play that game. But yeah, I'm still currently playing Miles Morales, and I'm not letting myself continue Miles Morales until I finish Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And I can't get Spider-Man 2 until I beat Miles Morales. So yeah, he's not wrong there. I will be playing Spider-Man 2 in 2035. James Odell also says, I'll play it and tell you if it's worth you playing. And if we deem it worthy, you'll use my hardware. Now, see, that's the thing, though. There's, big life changes that I'm not ready to talk about on stream yet. That may be like when there's a holiday, maybe I can get your hardware and then take it to another state. Kind of thing. So we don't know that that's a possibility, Odell. We don't know that it's possible for me to use your hardware. Now, the Patreon money can go towards other things you'd use more frequently, right? Because, yeah, I mean, like, I'd be wasting company money on a console and a game that's just going to sit there. Steven says, I like how none of the caveats are, and the game can't be ass, meaning you're willing to torture yourself more. Yeah, well, I mean, if it makes for a good stream, people might subscribe. So, yeah, I'll torture myself a little bit more, but no, none of the most of the caveats are I cannot waste my money on this. James Odell also says, being that it was a core part of my childhood, I got very emotional during that release trailer, and even playing it as an adult, I have the knowledge of how to enjoy it because of my childhood playthroughs. If you walk away from the Zelda franchise forever, don't you dare ever pick up a Super Smash Brothers game. Oh, I don't like No, okay, I shouldn't say I don't enjoy playing Super Smash Brothers. I am terrible at Super Smash Brothers. I will sometimes we'll play it with friends or have back in the day, but I've never really enjoyed playing the game. And so I've never bought the game for myself. I did enjoy playing the first game solo. Just playing through the story. James Oda says, Vin, can you turn your brain off for a movie? I mean, yeah. Yeah, if I know going in that it's like, there's no point. There's no point. Like, and I don't know, man. I get taken away in worlds and stuff. Sinners. I wasn't analyzing that at all, man. I was so deeply engrossed in that movie. And everything it put in front of me. Superman, another one. I was just, okay, I'm here. Let's do this. I'm taking you at face value. But some things are just egregious, man. Sometimes, you just cannot help but go like, yeah, I see what they did there. They couldn't get the actor in for this day. I was like, or like when something feels cheated, like there's just like, it feels like they took shortcuts or something. Sometimes things are just so egregious, you cannot like not acknowledge it. And I don't have to say it out loud, although I do. And I recognize that is a flaw in me, and I only hurt the people I love by doing that. But yeah, there are plenty of movies that I just get taken away with. And if it's a movie like that, then I'm like, I'm sure this is going to be stupid. Let's just have fun with it. I don't bother turning my brain on for it. Let's see here. James Odo says 1998 was the original. 2011 was the 3DS remake. Yeah, and I always forget that there was a 3DS remake that just looked a little better. The 2026, I expect this to not just be a reskin, though. Because that's from talks with Odell in person. That's basically all they've ever done is just like a little reskin, a little polish here and there. And I guess they've done a little bit to it, but nothing to write home about. So 2026, I expect this to be a bottom to top, we remade the game. I don't know, though. Johnny Voltage says, damn, I missed the start of the stream. Sorry, dude. Sorry, Sean. Hey, we're not too deep in yet. Basically, I just said there's not much to talk about this game. I talked about how much I hated the original, and I talked about how I don't intend to play this. However, I will play it on stream if somebody loans me their copy and a Switch 2, understanding that it will be in my possession for months and months and months and months and months and months, or enough Patreon subscribers sign up that we can afford to buy it through the company, or somebody buys the console and the game for me. I will not spend money on this game. So, James Odo says, That lets you watch Super Mario Brothers. Then let's watch Super Mario Brothers with your brain switched off. No, man, that's one of those movies that's too egregious, too egregiously bad. Um, I've seen the movie enough times to know that even if I shut my brain off, it's too bad. Um, there were a lot of control improvements in the 3DS version, says James Odell. Okay, well, I mean, fair enough. Um, Johnny Volches is asking how I feel about Star Fox. I was never a fan of Star Fox either, really. Um, it was an eyesore, man. It was an eyesore. I couldn't get over it the first time I ever played Star Fox. Woo! I turned the air conditioner off and it got hot up here fast. Um, James O says this time I think it's going to bring all kinds of quality of life improvements, camera improvements, graphical improvements, etc., while still keeping to the heart of the original gameplay and story. Yeah, I take nothing away from the story of Ocarina of Time either. The story, as far as I generally remember it, the story's fine. I don't think it's anything amazing. I think it's kind of your run-of-the-mill fantasy story. But it's good. It's fine. It's passable. I didn't hate it. Probably would have enjoyed the story more if I wasn't so frustrated with the game itself. James Ellis says, like we've talked about before, I think several of the issues you had with the game were because of limitations of the hardware. Fair enough. Johnny Volchin says on the 64, yeah, I played, you not only missed the beginning of this stream, you missed 20 plus streams where I played the original N64 version. Let's move on though. I think I'm beating a dead horse here. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Again, I'm glad for everyone who is excited for it. I genuinely am happy that you all are very excited for this game, and you have every reason to be. Coming 2026 at some point. Okay, let's move on. We're gonna talk Kingdom Hearts 4 now. So I watched the trailer. The reason we got started late on the stream is also because I was watching trailers and kind of looking for the stuff for this. So real quick, I want to read the Wikipedia synopsis here. Kingdom Hearts 4 set after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Returning protagonist Sora has become trapped in the lifelike world of Quadratum, while his companions Donald Duck and Goofy try to find and rescue him. Development in the next mainline as we in January 2020, officially announced, formally announced April 2022. So this was announced before. I just wasn't aware of it, and is scheduled for release on the Switch 2, PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X/S. So from the synopsis, and I'm sure I have to hope the intention is to not make the majority of your time in this game spent in Quadratum. Because what I saw in this trailer compared to, because I'm currently playing Kingdom Hearts on the original PS2 hardware. I'm currently playing that on stream, and I am having a blast. I am enjoying the hell out of Kingdom Hearts on the PS2, and it is fantastical, and it is fun, and it is a joy to play so far. And this looks boring. The world looks boring. I don't know who any of these guys are. If they're people, I mean, obviously I recognize. Is that Kira? So, is that Kira? I don't know. Looks about right, but I don't really recognize any of these other guys. I think there are some people in here from the newer Final Fantasy games. Um, and I don't know that I've not played any of them. But yeah, some of the fighting stuff looked kind of interesting, but the world just looks boring. Um, so I really, really hope it has a lot more in store than what we saw in this trailer, because so far I'm not enticed. Now, granted, I haven't played 2 and 3 yet. With how much I'm in Kyrie, thank you. With how much I'm enjoying this first game, I definitely have a heavy interest in playing 2 and 3. I don't know if I'm gonna go down the road of playing like all the side games. Um, but yeah, maybe there's something I don't know from playing those, not having played those 2 games, that would put me more at ease with this world. But this seems to be all they want to show off so far. So I hope there's a lot more interesting stuff in store for this game. But either way, right now this franchise has a lot of good faith with me. Um, Man, I regret writing this game off back in the day. Because like I said at the top of the stream, my STC game streams are all about rectifying my gaming sins. One of them is Kingdom Hearts. In the back in the day, I could not make peace with the premise. I was very pretentious about it, and I said the character archetypes of Mickey, Goofy, and Donald absolutely would not survive in this sort of scenario. Not acknowledging that multiverse theory is a thing, and I could have just written it off like that. And boy, oh boy, was I wrong. Kingdom Hearts 1 is such a fun game, and we just got to the Winnie the Pooh stuff. Look, honestly, if you don't want to go back and start from the beginning, I highly suggest, if you want to jump on to getting used to the stream, watch that last stream. It was a lot of fun. I introduced everyone to an old friend of mine, which there'll be shorts and clips and stuff that I'll put out of that later. But watch the stream, find out about that. But we got to the Winnie the Pooh stuff, and I love Winnie the Pooh, man. That is a core childhood nostalgic thing for me, and read that book a ton as a little kid. Always loved the cartoon and the movie Pooh's Grand Adventure. And then I even loved that Christopher Robin movie that they put out. So yeah, we got to Winnie the Pooh, and I was like, oh yes, I've loved Kingdom Hearts so far. So this game has a lot of good faith going in, but again, I'm gonna have to play 2 and 3 before I can let myself even touch this. But so far, I'm not impressed. Looks boring. All right, let me check in with chat here. Johnny Voltage says, I meant Star Fox. For your N64 question. No, I didn't play it. I didn't play it on N64. I had no interest. And I don't think anyone I knew at the time I was actively playing N64 regularly, I don't think anyone I knew had the game. And again, there just really wasn't any interest. James Little says, dude, Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be on a whole different level gameplay-wise. That's what it looks like. Like I said, the gameplay parts of the trailer looked kind of interesting. I was like, okay, well, this is clearly different. And it looks cool. The gameplay looks cool so far. That's not the boring part. The boring part is the world, and it's just... I don't know. It just hasn't given me anything to really latch onto. Nothing like what the first Kingdom Hearts is making me feel. Steven says, I've been waiting longer on Kingdom Hearts 4 than Zelda. Fair enough, man. I mean, fair enough. There are some diehards for this franchise, and I've always known that. And clearly, I mean, they made 1,000 games. So, clearly there was a market for it. It definitely, he also goes on to say, it definitely will be a lot of time because of the connection to Final Fantasy versus 13. Okay, so I don't really know anything about that. I did play the first Final Fantasy 13. And I played 13 too, but I got to a point where I really, no matter what I did, I could not figure out what to do next. I got trapped, and that one's on me. I couldn't figure out what to do next, and I wasn't really enjoying it all that much, so I just stopped playing it entirely. I kind of liked Final Fantasy 13, but overall it just wasn't that impressive. I liked the gunblade. I love a good gunblade. So yeah, if this has a lot of connections with the newer Final Fantasy games, those are going to be lost on me, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I really haven't played any of the newer ones post 13. 13-2 was the last time I tried to play a Final Fantasy game. James Odell says, I didn't even beat the third one yet, so you haven't even played the third one. Well, I mean, hey, maybe this is a reason. Maybe me playing Kingdom Hearts, and you've been on every stream, and I assume you'll probably be on all of them. Yeah, maybe me playing that first Kingdom Hearts game and this new one coming out is the motivation you need to finish the third game. He says you also says you'll get around to playing Kingdom Hearts 4 when the 7th installment is out. Absolutely. I can't even remember the new connections they made with Kingdom Hearts 3. Steven says they showed too many Disney worlds leading up to the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 that spoiled it. Versus 13 was a game nobody played because it was canceled to make Kingdom Hearts 3. Huh. Okay. Oh, okay. You're saying there's a Kingdom Hearts versus 13. Was it versus Final Fantasy 13? I'm not 100% sure what you're telling me here. But yeah, either way, if it's connection to a newer Final Fantasy game, I'm not gonna get it. Sorry guys, I'm boiling up here right now. I should have left the air conditioner on. But yeah, let's move on from Kingdom Hearts 3 or Kingdom Hearts 4, and I also want to talk about Injustice 3, which is not coming out. Which was not announced at any of the stuff that happened over this past weekend or this week. And that is a big disappointment for me, because not only was there were rumors swirling. I was seeing people talk idly about I really think they're gonna do Final or versus 13. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. They said I really think I'm gonna do they're gonna do Injustice 3. And then this happened. Boss Logic on Instagram started doing these damn absolute Injustice 3. It's got a logo and everything. With the Batman Who Laughs. Some great oh no, that was for we might talk about that, the last Ronin game too. An Azrael, Hush, Plastic Man, just some awesome concept trailers for this. And I knew they weren't legitimate trailers. But damn, do they look good. And they got me excited. And because there was a logo, it had me thinking, okay, well maybe they are going to announce Injustice 3. I love those games. I'm a big DC rider guy. And I have loved and sunk tons of hours into both of the Injustice games. And on the new PS5 hardware, and with these new movies coming out, all the skins you could get, and what's the story they could tell. I've loved the story in both of the Injustice games. This is the one that I'm sitting on pins and needles waiting for this game to come out. This is the game I'm starving for. Much like, and not that it's been that long of a wait, It's not a comparable wait to people waiting for a full Ocarina of Time remake or a full on Kingdom Hearts 4. It's not comparable in that length of time, but man, I am waiting on this game, and I was so bummed that nothing got announced over the weekend. And that doesn't necessarily mean that nothing's coming. Um, but was it the big event? I can't remember the name of it. I know Odell told me it replaced E3 basically, but that isn't that supposed to be the big event? Like if they were going to announce Injustice 3, it would have been there. Um, I don't know. Super bummed because all the stuff they could do. Summer Games Fest. Thank you, Odell. All the stuff they could do with this game. Especially because if they've been working on it, they've been taking their time with it. Man, I'm so bummed that game did not get announced. James Odell also says there's various other game announcement things through the year. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not giving up hope. I think they're definitely going to end up making an Injustice 3. Those two games are very popular. They made their money. The DLC does fairly well for them. And again, there's just so much in the time since they did the last game. There's been so much more that they could chew on. So many more Injustice comics have come out that they can borrow story from there. So many characters so many characters we haven't seen yet in the Injustice games that they could work with. Yeah, I'm a little bummed that one did not get announced. And since we're on the topic, let's talk about this last Ronin game. One, I was surprised because they've decided to can the live action movie, which goddamn, you want to talk about bummers. You want to talk about bummer news. That is a huge bummer, especially because the rumor was the way they were going with the story for the last Ronin game was that they were only going to tweak it so much that it could be a sequel to the 90s movies. So much so that the rumor was they were looking at Judith Hodge to come back as April O'Neil. And that had me so damn excited for that movie. The rumor that they were going to go practical suit again. Animatronic face and stuff. Minimal CG. I love a good practical effect animatronic blend with CG. That's why Jurassic Park looks so damn good. Or the original, at least. That's why those the original movies look so damn good, because they did that. They practical meets CG'd it. And that was the rumor they were going to go with this movie. And then they just shelved it because Paramount sucks. Look up the Ellisons. If you don't know, you don't know. Paramount sucks. And they own the Ninja Turtles. So I was surprised this game was still going to be coming out. The trailer looked interesting. Wasn't really much to chew on, much like the Zelda trailer. There really was not much to chew on from that teaser trailer that came out. But I'm interested. I'm very interested. I would very much like to. This is one of those games where I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna see. Not that I buy much on day one, anyways. Like I said, I was so hyped for that Indiana Jones game, and I still don't own it. But this is one of those I'm going to sit back and go like, okay, let's watch it as it comes out. Let's see what people are saying about it. And then we'll pull the trigger or not. But yeah, the last Ronin game looks cool. It's a cool concept. It's a story-based game. So logically, I should be able to, if I did get this, should be able to play it and then and not take 5 years, like most games. Let's check in with chat again, man. Uh, Creative Jargon just jumped in and said, okay, I'm here now. We can start. Sorry to say, you've missed half the damn thing. Uh, let's see. Scroll up a little bit. James Odell says we could potentially get an announcement at the Game Awards. That's right. I do forget about the Game Awards. I'm not as plugged in with the gaming industry as Odell is, or as I was when we were running Sorta My Podcast full time. Um, but yeah, they're historically known for great world premiere trailers. So yeah. I mean, there's a possibility we could get Injustice 3 during the Game Awards. Because I do know Boss Logic has some insider information. He's been known to have insider information. And so that's another reason why I took like, okay, he's making these posts, he's putting out these posters, he's got to know something. So maybe he caught wind that something's coming, and he just assumed it was Summer Games Fest. Steven says, I didn't play much of Injustice 2. I don't like the grim, dark Superman. I mean, man, I'm a big, hey, ugh, get out of my way, microphone. I'm a big Superman guy. So, like, and David Corn Sweat Superman is my flavor of Superman. But I also do like I love a good what if Elseworlds story. So tyrannical fascist Superman is a story of interest to me as well. Not my favorite, but a story of interest. So yeah, I mean, it does not kill it for me, but I could understand where people would be off put by a portrayal of Superman like that. Um, James Odo says, "I'm excited that that this is going to be classified as a AAA game title, and it's the same studio that made the Bayonetta games, which have intense combat, which I feel works well for the Turtles." In reference to the Last Ronin video game. Um, yeah. Now, okay, Odell, you're gonna have to tell me here because this is something I don't know. I know AAA is a good thing. Why is AAA a good thing? Please explain that to me, because I don't know that. I just know that AAA is a good thing when you hear that about a game. Um, and those Bayonetta games, man, they did always look good. I never got to play one, but I was always interested. They always did look really, really awesome. So, yeah, if it's being made by the same studio that made Bayonetta, that bodes well for the last Ronin game, in my opinion. I am down for that. Is it a training day? Whoa, wait a minute. We received intel of the Ronin's adventures from the last Ronin training day that you can download at thelast.ronin.com. Okay, cool. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. Um, James Otto says, so AAA is like your grand summer blockbuster movie of the video game world. Okay. All right. So this is supposed to be one of the ones that's like, we're going to grab everyone's attention with this one. Steven says, the thing about Kingdom Hearts 4 is that it's the start of the new story arc, and the director seems to be making a commentary about Square Enix um, as a company and his artistic process. Um, Quadratum is a land of the dead, and we're seeing a lot of themes and stuff from his canceled game appearing here over 20 years later. Very meta. Okay. That doesn't entice me more. I mean, I'm glad he's getting some artistic catharsis here. But yeah, that compared to what I'm playing and really enjoying from the first Kingdom Hearts game, doesn't do much for me. Red Dead is a double A. James Little says Red Dead is a double A game. The Last of Us, Uncharted, etc. AAA. Skyrim is a AAA. GTA 5. Okay, so this is supposed to be in the vein of in the same class as those games. All right, fair enough. That's like I said, I always knew the AAA title was a good thing, but wasn't 100% sure specifically why. All right, guys, I'm starting to get hungry, so we're going to talk about one last thing here. So I can get some food, and I'll be hanging out with James Odell from chat here very soon. We have our weekly streaming night. Last thing I want to talk about is God of War Laufey. Which, okay, this is the only thing I have open for it, which is the newest God of War game they announced. And honestly, you would probably end up seeing God of War show up on STC Games channel if it wasn't for the fact that there's so much nudity. At least I know in the early games. I don't know about the later games, but because another one of my gaming sins is that I've always been interested in the God of War franchise, and I have bought every core God of War game up to not the most recent one, but the one before that, the first one with his son in it. The one that was just called God of War, again, because that was a popular naming thing. And that drives me even more crazy in movies. I think it was honestly just horror movies that was doing this, but doing a sequel that ignores the other things and is just a sequel to this thing, but it also has the same title as the first movie, so you're supposed to think that it's a remake. Drives me nuts in the movie world. So anyways, I've bought those first 4 core story games and never played one of them, which is why I did not buy the last one, because I had initiated that rule I was talking about earlier on stream, where I'm not allowed to buy a game until I complete the game before it. I'm not allowed to buy a sequel game until I beat the game before it. So you might be saying, all right, then why are we talking about this game? What stake do you have in it? I am interested in the franchise. I do want to play those games. The reason I'm talking about this is because I know too much. It's because I know too much. And it is because, and I can't say I'm surprised that we still live in this world where this makes headlines still, and we haven't just started ignoring. Just ignore them when it comes to Star Wars fans complaining about a black stormtrooper and a female lead. When it comes to people being angry about He-Man because Idris Elba is playing a character who's not traditionally black, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know the He-Man franchise, but I did hear that's a problem. That these people still come out of the woodwork and manage to steal some of our fucking attention because of their idiocy. Their incel, knuckle-dragging fucking idiocy. And the reason that's a part of this is because it's a female lead in a God of War franchise. Oh, and a lot of people seem to think Deborah Ann Wool is ugly. And she looks old in this picture. And a bunch of other really fucking stupid shit. Just, hey, that obviously is just, hey, don't play the game. Just don't play it. And if you're not playing it, and all of your buddies don't play it, and that's what kills the game, nobody plays it, and they don't make another one, fine, you win. Congratulations. But, and this is a sneaking suspicion, if you just shut the fuck up and don't play the game, it won't change anything. You yell about it, doesn't change anything. And it's just so fucking frustrating because Because I'm not tied into the gaming world. I'm not a gamer per se. I'm not keeping up with the trades. I barely know what's coming out 90% of the fucking time. And for whatever reason, I gotta be aware of this shit. And it still finds its way into my fucking purview and wastes valuable fucking brain space. And you could argue, oh, well, then you just don't pay attention to it. You ignore it. They make it very hard. They make it very hard. And the reason my call to arms is for all of us to fucking ignore them is because if us and the media and everything else had just fucking never platformed them, never platformed their stupid fucking opinions to begin with, all the way back at Gamergate, then we wouldn't be talking about this. We wouldn't be, I wouldn't have to fucking know about this shit. I'd be like, oh, maybe I'd have found out about Deborah Ann Wool being the lead in a God of War game, and I'd have been like, oh, cool. I'm not going to buy it because I haven't beat the other game. Moving on. But no, instead, I got to be fucking infected with this garbage fucking bullshit that the internet loves to fucking throw at us 95% of the time we open any of these goddamn apps. The images of the game look pretty good, though. I do like what I'm seeing so far. It looks beautiful. It looks like a fucking great game. And what I've heard about the story is it sounds like really an interesting step for the franchise, because you can only go down the road with Kratos so far before it's like, let's mix it up. I think the cube thing is a little who's playing hold on. Oops, my fingers are on the wrong keys. Who plays the voice of the cube in God of War? Laufey. Oh my God. There we go. Jack Quaid. Okay, never mind. I had a different name in mind. Jack Quaid playing a sidekick gelatinous cube is funny to me. And I love Deborah Ann Wool. She is fantastic in Daredevil. So I think this game is going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be an awesome installment in the franchise. I'm just so fucking sick of people taking any bit of my brain space for the lowest common denominator of fucking opinions. This shit should not be in my fucking purview. Let's check in with chat. Okay. Steven says, I think he's still talking about Kingdom Hearts 4 here. None of that is to say it's a good game. It's just very interesting for those of us who saw the Final Fantasy Versus 13 trailer in 2006. It's all fan service. Cool. And that's another thing, like much like with Ocarina of Time and Masters of the Universe, I'm fucking psyched for the people who are psyched for Kingdom Hearts 4 and the fan service and stuff. I am a pro fan service guy, man. Now, me personally, I do prefer when I very much prefer when the fan service is part of the story. Like, pander to me, sure, as a fan, but like, let's make it matter. So I don't necessarily always love it when it's just like, and this hasn't happened in Marvel, but let's say if in a Marvel movie, we just stopped in the moment and it's like, oh, there's the King in Black. Okay. And then it has nothing to do with what's going on, even though it's a very important character. I don't know why I chose King in Black. But still, it's, and that's not a great example, but I don't like it when it's nonsense as much. But still, sometimes it's like, well, that was fun. That was fun that happened. It didn't really matter. It doesn't make any difference in the story. But I am a fan of fan service. Steven says, I'm closing in 40 minutes, so don't order here, please. I'm trying to clean. No, brother, I don't need to eat out that much. costs too much to eat food from other places than my house. And even that bill's going up. James Odo says, I have mixed feelings about this one, but I also haven't beat Ragnarok. That's right. God of War Ragnarok was the last game. James also says, yeah, you won't be able to play it on Steam because of the nudity early on. Now, the newer ones, I think you might be able to. Yeah, so before I go to the newer ones, I would have to beat those first 3 games. Just for me. I have to do that before I touch any of the newer God of War games. James Odo also says, I love it when he goes on his rants. Yeah, man. Dude, I got a lot of anger in me, and I don't let it out that often because a lot of that anger is not for the people I interact with in day-to-day life, and they don't deserve that. So, James Odo says, Cassie says, hi, wave to her. Hello, Cassie. I hope I'm not too late doing that. James Odo says, oh, hey, you mentioned Venom 3. Oh, my God, was that a Venom 3 thing? Because I watched the first Venom, and I was like, oh, what was it? What was it I watched that I said, if I watch this, I'm walking away from the Sony, and it sucks, I'm walking away from the Sony Spider-Man movies forever. I'm not giving another one any of my time. I think it was Venom 2. I think I watched Venom 2, and I was like, yep, that's it. Not watching Morbius, not watching Craven, not watching Madam Web, not watching Venom 3. Fuck all of these. So I have not seen Venom 3. James Odo says, apparently Noel was in there, but almost in passing or something. Okay, hey, sounds about right for a Sony Marvel movie. Mobius. Creative Target says Mobius. Yeah, dude. Okay, so we went about an hour. Actually, I'm really happy about this. This is basically just a podcast. I don't think I'm gonna classify this as like sort of my vlog, or I had another thing like way back in the day. I did these. I think maybe only 3 of them, where I did a series of videos called In the News, where I very lazily and stupidly talked about the news and tried to be funny. And it sucked. It's so embarrassing, but I leave it up on the channel as a, like, this is how I started. And now you can see where I'm at. So I don't know. This does kind of qualify as in the news. I'm not going to put it in although actually I was going to put this in the Ocarina of Time playlist. Maybe also the Kingdom Hearts playlist. But maybe I make it in the news. Maybe this is in the news number 4. Who knows? Let me know in the comments. Comment down below. Let me know what you think I should classify this as, or just leave it as let's talk about. All right. I think that's it for me. We got to go over to my buddy Odel's house, who's in chat right now, in about half an hour to go watch television, because it's one of the only ways I actually get to keep up with popular shows right now. And I'm hungry and I'm hot. So let's go ahead and end this. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you're watching this later on, or you're here now and you haven't, please consider subscribing. Follow us on any of the socials. subjecttochangeent. We are filmmakers. I like making sketch comedy and stuff like that. That is what we do first and foremost. But we also have our STC games. We have Lucky Stadium, where we rip packs of Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering, sometimes other things. And then just a bunch of other random stuff, thinking about bringing back Edible Obscurities, and podcasts. So consider subscribing, following, and all the things. And, of course, please share anything on any of our socials that you ever see it. Sharing is the most important thing you can do for small creators. And we are trying to get watch time up. So the more eyes you bring to us, the more the watch time goes up. We get into the partner program. We get that little hype button that puts us in front of more people, and it can only snowball into good things. So thank you very much. And if you really want to help out, maybe sign up for the Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you get videos early, I do little town halls, keep people abreast of what we're doing with movies and stuff. There's sketches up there nobody else gets, re-edits of old sketches we did back in the day. And just other exclusive stuff like commentaries and stuff like that. So please consider helping out one way or another. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin the Human, and this was fun. We might do another one.